So we're live on Podbean now, and we're going to start up the Zoom here so that we can start recording.
Let's say,
So just bear with us for a moment.
let all of our listeners hear our voice and scream hallelujah. You know, they're back, they're back, they're back. It's gonna be a fun episode today.
You ready to go?
I'm fucking excited.
All right, well, we're live again. Bucks and Brews here with you. We're running a little later today because softball season has started, so I'm kind of out a little bit. I'm going to talk about what I'm drinking before Nick gets into his. So I went back to Rourke Brewing with the French Toast Devil Dog Oatmeal Stout. And when I finished that, Saugatuck Brewing Neapolitan Milk Stout. So it's a stout night for me. Nick, what you got?
Oh, well, you know, I got my Bucks and Brews t-shirt on because that's number one important, along with my Bucks and Brews cup. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
If you guys can see that, cool blue. It felt like a sunny day, so I wanted to go with something really fun for myself. Smirnoff Ice Smash Red, White, and Blue. Usually drink the bottles, got the can. I'll drink it out of the bottle way more than I'll drink it out of the can from now. When I'm done with that, the old true and blue Bud Light. You know, you can't go wrong when you're drinking what you know.
True story.
So, David, I know it's been a heck of a week.
Yeah, I've been super crazy busy between work and break room and school and softball. It's been insane. We were not sure we'd be able to get together tonight, but luckily we got that worked out because God knows I needed a drink after the weekend.
Yeah, say, you know, I my weekend, right? I worked. I ended up in Muskegon. Somebody got themselves arrested. Decided to blame it. Right? They're going to the back of the cop car and they go, "Thanks, Nick." Like I fucking did it, right? Like, yeah, cool. I made the decision to do the illegal acts, right? Like I literally gave you all of the things not to do in life, and you go and do like. It's just like this, right? We can give you freaking advice. If you take it, awesome. If not, like, don't blame us because we did something, right? Like,
we tell each other, everybody, all the time. We're not professionals. This is what we believe, but
right. But if you do the opposite, I'm not responsible.
No, absolutely not.
If you come to me and say, "Nick, I did every step you said and it failed," I'll be like, "All right, we gotta figure this out because I'm doing those steps and it's working for me. So, like, let's figure this shit out." And then today, you know, I mean, we were talking about almost not being able to make it, and I get you know friggin' gas leak call after gas leak call today. Just ridiculous. I was running behind. It's just, dude, it's one of those weeks, one of those days, man.
You know what that reminds me of? So I watched this TikTok video the other day.
Yeah.
This guy calls 911 to ask about cooking meth.
Good for him. And what'd they say?
They said, "Is this so-and-so that lives at such and such place?" He goes, "No, that person's not here right now." And they're like, "All right, well, we're sending an officer on his way to see you, Daryl." And he's like, "Okay."
Okay.
They're like, "What are you doing right now?" "Oh, nothing. I'm just cooking some meth." Whoops.
In my office, the best thing to do right now, because, you know, there's so many Karens in this world.
Oh, absolutely.
Is we're watching, like, even on TikTok. I downloaded TikTok. I haven't even looked at it, but like they come across Facebook, right? And it's, "I'd like to speak with your manager," and then hold on, like you just switch ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, this is the manager. I want to speak to somebody above you. Do you know who I am? Like, I am the top dog. Like, oh, it's amazing. We hung up on a lady. That was hilarious to me, right? So like she calls, complains, and we tell her an answer. She didn't like the answer, and she just started ripping into us. So I hang up. And when I hung up, apparently I didn't. So the girl I work with, she's so nice. She keeps talking. I was like, "No, hang the phone up," right? And like, click. And she like laughs about it. And I was like, "We don't get disrespected. Like, you're not going to talk to me like out of disrespect. If you talk to your child that way, that's on you. And you probably should learn from that." But like,
I've had a couple people at work try to talk to me like I was their kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one thing when I started there, I was like 23.
Yep.
But the longer I worked there and the older I got,
yeah,
I'm not your kid. Don't talk to me like I am, because it's not going to go the way you think it is.
Yep, I say but you know, tonight's episode, it's really it's an easy topic, but it's funny. We're talking about wealth, right? Like what wealth is, how to get there, and you know, a lot of questions kind of come up with it. So I think, you know, it's weird because when you think about how to get wealth, okay, it's the easiest thing you've ever done in theory, right?
Right.
So, you know, the hard part is right. You're always trained and you listen to everybody else in this world. Oh, you know, YOLO's this big thing, right? Like you only live once, like, you know, just spend your money and you know, you get too many people to like, oh, you have to buy this nice car and you have to look the part and you have to do whatever. And it's like, nah, you know, I mean, dude, rock a Bucks and Brews t-shirt, you know, every day of your life and call it a day. But really, when you think about it, you know, wealth, take your paycheck instantly, like in another account, right? So into a Betterment, into an index fund, something like that. Put 20% away, right? Put 5% into your savings account so you have, you know, your emergency fund kind of going up. Invest 15 to 25% of your money. I mean, right? And you'll never see that money. You'll never think about it. You'll only budget off the rest of it, right?
Yep.
And then you'll get so used to it every time a paycheck or you know a raise comes, right? Just up in a couple bucks. I mean, that's just it's simple, right? It's so simple. Like if you just let the work do itself, right? You just watch it continue to grow, you'll be wealthy. I mean, financially. And so people don't take that beginning step to just invest from day one.
So it's simple, but at the same time, everybody wants to make it very, very complicated. And they're not good at sticking to a budget or understanding the value of their money.
Sure.
Okay, so, you know, like we talked about our journey last week, and I think that, you know, that really kind of shoves us into here really well because, you know, when we were talking about me, you know, I said I didn't have a respect for money. There was no respect. I spent a lot of money on junk.
Yeah.
You know, my Mike Love Fund or whatever you called it. And, you know, when I look back at all the money I spent over, you know, 10 years, if I had invested half of that, I'd be rich.
Oh, and that's right. Like that's exactly it. I mean, you know, if we do a lot of kids episodes, right? Pennies and Pops, and you know, if you can get kids on that track just so early to know to put away money. I mean, right? Like once their first paycheck hits from McDonald's, from whatever their first job is, the paper, like there's no paper routes anymore, but like something, right? Like, hey, instantly, like your first paycheck, take 25% of that away and just go with it, right? Because like that'll teach them to invest in their 401ks. That'll teach them, you know, and if right away you instantly walk into a McDonald's, right, and you got your crap together, I don't care if it's a McDonald's, we're not making fun of McDonald's jobs, right? We're just saying you walk in and they say, hey, we need your direct deposit, right? And so you walk in and you have your direct deposit for this and you have your direct deposit for your other account. And you say, hey, look, I need 25% to go here, 75% to go here. Yep. They're going to go, what? And you don't have, you know, none of those people are going to understand, right? I mean, it's not normal. But when you walk in, you just instantly, you never see that, right? You look at your paycheck, but honestly, you should only be looking at that take-home money, right? People talk about taxes and how it's whatever, but you're fighting something that you can't control, right? I mean, yes, go out and vote and do all that to try to avoid it, but really, like, if you can't control it, beat it. You know, I mean, you know, you get the high school teacher once in a while that's like, hey, from the age of, you know, 18 to whatever, if you put in $100 out of every paycheck, right, you'll be a millionaire before you know it, right?
Right.
And it's just a guaranteed breakdown.
Well, you know, so Jenna, who's one of my employees here, she helped her brother set up his Roth IRA. You know, he had questions. She basically walked him through it.
Sure.
So, of course, I said to her, it was either a week ago or this past weekend, I don't remember which. I said, so you helped your brother set up his Roth? She goes, yeah.
Where's yours?
Did you set up yours yet? And she goes, yeah, I haven't done that yet. And I went, okay, well, what are we waiting for?
Yep.
I said, I don't care if you're putting a lot of money into it, but put some money into it. I said, and until, you know, April 15th, you can count it as last year's taxes.
Yep.
I said, so let's get going here. You know, for a 16-year-old, she makes better money than anybody in her class. I guarantee you right now, because there's nobody out there paying a 16-year-old what we pay. And part of that is because, we want to pay a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, and I think there is some out there, right? I mean, there's different areas, but for this area, right, to get 16 to pay that amount of money. I mean, I just went into the sub shop today and it was like starting at $9.
Yeah.
It's just like
we're paying better than that.
But really, it's everybody says that, oh, you just say that because you have money. No, like I just say that because I do it, right? Like, I mean, when I got into Gentex, right? Like I put my match in, I didn't instantly invest, and then I had to kick my own ass, right? Like, Nick, what do you do? Like, hey, all right. So then I just started direct depositing, and once you direct deposit, like it's I mean, you talk to people on child support, oh, that money, and they'll complain about it, but like they're living off, if
they don't know,
right?
It's like, gone.
Exactly. I mean,
you're used to living on whatever you have,
and so then that's exactly it. You see it, and it's just like, all right, so start, and we're not telling you guys to be like, oh, go to 50% right away. You know what? And if you're like, oh, I'm so tight, and you're not budgeting or doing whatever, but like throw $10 in there, throw $20 in there, and naturally you'll like if you look at your account, like look at your bank account constantly and be like, oh, I just don't have it. Like you're gonna make smarter decisions naturally off of 10 and $20, and eventually it'll add up. And people, I'm so tired of people, oh, that's just not enough money. Like, it's not enough money, but if you do like a 6-month checkup or a yearly checkup, guess what? After 3 years, you're going to look at that shit and you're going to go, man, I haven't even noticed that $10 has just been going towards it. Like,
well, I look at it with my refi.
Yep.
I can look at exactly what I pay on my principal, exactly what I'm paying on my interest. So I looked at it the other day and I'm like, well, if I pay another $13.11 this month, I'm at, 50, as an ending number. And me, I'm OCD, so I like even numbers.
Yeah, so I run mine all the time too.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to pay that right now, so I'll be at, I think it's 104,950.
Yep.
Because I want that round number, and I'm sitting there going, all right, well, I get 3 paychecks in April, so that's going to be some extra money in April going, and then, well, I'm going to want it to be even again, so I have to figure out where I am to be even again, because I always want to be even.
Yep.
But I'm looking at that going, what I really want is that paid off in 10 years.
Yeah. Which I mean, and that's a very possible thing, right? You just got to focus on it. And so, right, but like when you're talking wealth and actually building it up, you don't have to really focus on it, right? Like, okay, if you watch it and the market goes down, you guys are gonna be like, oh, we're idiots. But if you understand that this is long-term investing, this is long-term wealth, this is long-term, right? You're gonna get to the point where it's literally just going to add up over time. And, by the time you're 50, you're going to see it and go, holy crap, like this is a thing, and then this became a really hot topic for me. And, today I'm listening to some stuff. And so I got on my Betterment. This is real. I get on my Betterment and I go into how much I give every week or whatever. And I was like, I'm just going to up it $35.
Yep.
Like, I was like, you know what, just force myself because, again, I went out to dinner tonight for $15 for a sub, which is
ridiculous,
right? But I was gonna get a half, but it's only $2 savings. So I was like, dude, and I'm this big, but I had self control. I literally only ate half of it, so I was like, all right, I'm at $7 $7.50 a meal,
right?
But like $35, guess what? I'm not gonna go out and eat, as much because I know, like, I'm trained that way. Like, if I don't have it in my account, I'm not gonna spend it because and I think a lot of people, you have to understand that, there's a big percentage. I can't tell you the statistic, but if you're the kind of person that's like, hey, I make $400 a week, and on Friday, whatever's left over, I'll just invest it. It'll never add up. It'll never work. It'll never be a constant, like, because you're gonna go see something that you want to buy and you're just gonna go buy it instead of actually. So if you build it ahead of time, if you pay yourself first by investing first, it's set it and forget it. Like, we don't need you guys to go out and get second jobs, third jobs if you don't want them. Like, there's a difference in like that type of person that you want to be. But really, like, just set the amount of money. It's so simple, I think one of the biggest things is, especially with technology, man, it's so easy just to set up auto withdrawal, right? Like,
It really is.
I mean, my Betterment, literally, I just get a notification, hey, this deposit's coming out. Like, I don't have to log in every week. I mean, I barely log into my Betterment. Only when I like randomly think about it or talk about it.
You know who logs in all the time, right?
Yeah, yeah, you.
All the time.
But I mean, like, the reason I don't is because like I don't want to have that itch to like spend it or to know what I have.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
I don't spend any of that. There's no way.
well, I mean, I'm buying a real estate. I'm buying some more real estate right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, should I do this, or this? And I was like, oh, I have money over here. Like, I don't even want that to be a thought process, right? Like, I want to know that that's set forever.
So while we're here, I just want to give a quick shout out to Christy and Kristen, who I work with. They're both listening to us live right now in Podbean.
Oh, I appreciate that. It's a big shout out to you guys. Hopefully you're drinking something good with us. I think one of the other things when we're talking about wealth is, your what's, right, and versus your whys, right? Because if you don't have a why, right, if you don't have that final, when if your what is just, hey, I want money, right? I want $10 million. When you get to that goal, I mean, you're just gonna feel empty when you get there, right? Like,
and me being a coach,
yeah,
one of my absolute favorite quotes is something that Phil Jackson had shared in one of his books. It's great to have an end to journey towards, but it's the journey that matters in the end.
Yeah.
So you really have to sit there and, while you're trying to get to whatever your goal is, enjoy what you're doing. So, case in point, Sunday, I went through soft toss to two 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And Caitlin watched because she couldn't really, I mean, she swung one-handed for one, round,
Sure,
basically, but she couldn't really do much. And it's shocking to me because, one of them was Marv's daughter, Jenny.
Sure.
Who, the only person I coached longer than Jenny was my own daughter. Okay. And that was 1 year longer.
Sure.
So if you would have told me 10 years ago that Jenny was going to hit me up and say, hey, can you throw me some soft toss? I'd have told you, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're that guy on 911 calling the 911 saying, hey, I'm cooking meth. How do I do this?
How do I get it? Yeah.
Because she never would have been that person, but she was the one. She sent me a text last week, me and Katie and Caitlin, and said, hey, I want to hit, which is unlike her.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, she's 25 now, and she's sitting there going, man, I don't get to do this every day. Again,
yep.
When you're in a high school and you play a sport, you have to do this every day. And they sit there and they look at it like, oh, I have to go to practice today. Instead of, man, I get to go to practice today.
No. Well, I think our girls were, we only had a few that were like, hey, I have to.
Most of them really wanted to.
Right. I mean, we made it that environment. I mean.
But again, when you look at where we coached, because Katie said this too, they didn't play softball for us because they loved softball.
Yeah. They
played softball for us because we cared about them.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with when I coached bowling.
For Potters.
Right. I mean, right. It was, I got interviewed, and I mean, I took way less money than I should have, but that and I wasn't that point. It was the fact that I'm going to be an impact, right? And so and these kids, they could see it. They're like, oh man, this guy wants to teach us and actually shows up and cares, like, versus the coach that sat there and ate fries, right? I think that was my favorite. That was my favorite conversation, right, with the kids. Hey, I'm just letting you know, there's 0 drinks and there's 0 food during my practice, and like all of them are like, what? And it was like, no, this is competitive. This is like, we're not here just to have social hour.
I showed up to bowling because my daughter bowled, and she bowled against your team.
Yeah.
And there was a coach, which was not her coach, that the first thing he did when he got to a bowling alley was order food, and then he fell asleep.
Yeah.
And it used to piss me off.
Yep. Well, that's just letting kids go out and, sure, have fun. I get that, but I mean, we're here to have the competition. We're here to have the camaraderie. We're a team.
We're here to teach life lessons.
Right. And it's definitely more than throwing a bowling ball or throwing soft toss, right? I mean, we have those conversations while we're doing that, right? I mean,
well, so tonight we had cut down.
Yep.
So we knew we were between a certain number of girls for varsity and a certain number of girls for JV. And coach came over and he said, okay, so-and-so didn't make it and is taking it hard. So make sure, you prop her up. when we walk out of here.
Sure.
And, you know, she took it hard. She cried. But, you know, she's an underclassman.
Sure.
And not every underclassman is going to make varsity.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that.
Why would there be? I mean, you know, it gives you that much more to work towards and to prove to get yourself better.
Well, and, you know, you and I, the way we look at that is, okay, well, you were on the line.
Yep.
So you better go be a leader.
Yeah.
You know, you're on JV, go lead them and show us why we made a mistake.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you can't call them up in the middle of the season, right? I mean,
well, they know they're coming to every tournament we have.
Yeah. You know, and so, you know, I think your why is a big key, right? So like, if you don't know why you're doing it, you'll never reach that full, except for, right? I mean, if you have a number of what, right? Hey, I want a Dodge Viper, right?
Right.
And so I'd look at it and say, why? Well, why is because it's my dream car and that's what I want, right? But like, it's a horrible investment. Horrible, not an investment, right? Like do I have the money to buy it? Sure. I can go pay cash for the one I want and stuff like that. But the fact is like when I get, and I know who I am as a person, once I get it, I'm going to sure, I'll drive it once and go, all right, I've lived my dream. Like, right. So if my dreams aren't big enough, if my why is not big enough, right? I mean, my why is so much more than that, right? It's family legacy. My why goes so deep for me. And I have to ask myself this all the time. Why do I wake up every day and do this? Why do I stress myself, quote unquote, for money, right? And it's, you know, people think, I mean, anybody listening, watching, you know, if we've earned your respect and you think we have money, oh, these guys have money. No, sure, we're gonna like we don't have money to ourselves, right? Like, but we know we'll get there, right? I mean,
you know, and talking to Jenny and Katie when they were here, because you know, the four of us were together, and then Caitlin had to leave because she was meeting a friend from Lansing.
Sure.
And you know, I'm talking to Katie and Jenny afterwards, and I'm like, you know, the only reason I want Caitlin to have a child at some point is because I miss buying presents for a kid.
Sure.
It's not because I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I want my daughter to be a mom. You know, if she wants to be a mom, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I want to buy presents for a kid. You know, like so when Toys R Us was going out of business, they were selling these Luke Skywalker land speeders. They were like $400, I want to say.
Sure.
And they were selling them for $125. And I bought one.
Yeah.
Because I told Caitlin at the time, and she was probably, I don't know, 22 at the time. I said, I'm going to be the coolest grandpa ever. And she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I bought a Luke Skywalker land speeder, and whenever you have a kid, that kid has a land speeder. And it's sitting at my mom's house right now because eventually I would hope she has a child, even if she doesn't have her own.
Yeah.
I would hope she adopts a kid or something. And even if she doesn't, I'll figure out something. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's always going to be some type of kid that impacts your life. I mean,
yeah.
You know, that's just exactly how it is.
Well, I think my biggest issue is, you know, I want Caitlin to have a child also so that when I die, there's something to leave to somebody because, you know, I have amassed all of these cool things.
Yeah.
And even if my wife sells everything or Caitlin sells everything, you know, I want her to be able to, you know, take to her kids and go, here is, you know, all this crap I sold to your grandpa's because he had all this crap.
Yeah.
And it was worth X number of dollars, and here you go.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, I had to take my daughter to a showing today, right? To one of the properties, and you know, she doesn't love it. And then we, you know, end up having a gas leak while we're there. So then I stay even longer, and I'm like, God, I feel so bad. And so like, you know, the DTE dude's like, I get it, and like, you know, I'm playing like ABCs, but like. And he goes, man, teaching her young, she's gonna be a perfectionist by the end of this. And so I was like, that's kind of the hope, to be honest. You know, like
it really is.
I don't know if her life, if dude, think about it. If she can start any bit faster than we did, right? And that's why we're so much on these kids. Like, dude, if you guys can start so much before us, like, I hope you come to us and go, you call that money back in the day? Like, we'll be like, yeah, dude, we're broke, and like you're gonna be like, oh, I made it, you know, because like when you talk to old people, what's the number one thing they say? Like, right, when you're at a job, hey kid, make sure you start your 401k early, unlike I did.
Save your money.
Yeah. And so what was the statistic I think I heard today? It was 60% of Americans don't have $1,000 in their savings account.
Absolutely.
60, like that's a huge percent. Like if they got into anything, they couldn't bail themselves out of it right now without having to go into credit card debt.
And it's understandable because of how we live and how we've been taught to live for really the last 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, in class right now, of course, I always pick the same decade to write about. It's always the 80s.
Sure.
Because I love the 80s. But when you look at the 80s, the thing they taught us was to live over your budget, to live in excess, to take on credit card debt. And people were okay doing that.
You know, and when we're talking debt, right? It doesn't equal wealth. Okay, we know that for a fact. When compounded interest is what makes wealth happen. I mean,
yep.
When you hear it from so many professional people out there, right? I mean, that's what they say. There's, you can't rewrite something that's not broken because you know what? Wealth building isn't broken. You just have to actually do it.
Correct.
I was reading about real estate today, and it was like, you're taught that you can spend up to 3 times what your monthly salary is on a house, right? Yep. So, and they say, so the average household income, right? So household, usually 2 people, like, but they say the average is $69,000, let's say $70,000. Okay. So 3 times that, $210,000 is the average. Now the average sale of a home in the US, take a guess.
$275.
No, $330,000.
Jesus.
Right. So now that tells you how many people are not living by that 3 times mark. I mean, the average, right, is $110,000 over what you should be spending. And people are like, oh, well, housing's so expensive. I mean, again, you're allowing it to happen because you're the person making that. Like, if you just like, oh, I got to get out of here so bad. No, like, you know what? Like, you have to be successful and wealthy so bad.
Well, and let me ask you something, because you are a landlord.
I am.
I obviously own a couple properties.
Yep.
When we look at housing specifically, it's expensive because people will pay it.
Yeah.
So especially right now, I mean, for anybody that doesn't know, we're in the Grand Rapids area.
Yep.
The Grand Rapids area, it's a hot market.
Sure.
And you list the house at 150, and right now it'll go for 210 without really thinking about it, because people want houses, and they want houses here, and they want them now. So they're overpaying for those houses.
No, let me I don't usually share too much of stuff, but when it comes to like other people's landlording, okay. But here's the thing, okay. So I run statistics on what comparable rent should be.
Yep.
Okay. It tells me I should get between $1,250 and $1,300. So the owner's like, I'm either going to sell it, I want to list it for $1,500. Crap you not, I have 3 applications and a crap ton of showings at $1,500. Now, comping it, like, again, you want to, I'm not saying do it to a landlord, but like, you want to drain the landlord, just don't fucking rent it. But like, people are willing to do it. They're willing to get out there. They're willing to go do this. And it's like, you've just paid $250 more than what it was worth. And it's like, and what I'm finding, I mean, sure, if there's other applicants or whatever, but like, if I were to walk in, let's say I'm a renter, right? And if I were to walk in and be like, hey, I don't know, see how you're getting 15, but I'll offer you $1,450, right? I'd negotiate. Like, that shows me that you're, thinking about your money, you're understanding. I'd be like, oh, man, like this person's, they're thinking about money, and I don't have to take that big of a risk, and granted, if I have another qualified candidate behind it, yeah, like I'm probably going to take a qualified, but like, if it's right there, I'm going to look at financials. I'm going to have to pick the best qualified person, right? And
at the end of the day, you want the person that's going to pay every month.
Yeah.
And I know you, because you are a landlord. You're sitting there going, I want somebody that's going to stay here long term, because I don't want to have to look for a new tenant.
So with this new home purchase, right?
Yeah.
They just sent me a stupid paper, and it says property management paperwork, right? And it's like, How long have you been a property manager? Okay. And then like one of the questions is, what's your average tenancy? And I'm like, oh my God, if I had to sit here and do math, I was like, I don't know, 5 years, right? Every turnover. I say it's like, because when I do look for this, right, I'm like, hey, how long do you plan to be here? Oh, we're just in between houses, and that's not. I can't turn you down for that, right? But like, hey, just let you know, it's a 1 year lease, right? Oh, okay, and sometimes they don't want a 1 year, right? Like the
Right.
month, so I don't have to take that. But like, hey, oh, I don't know, my kid's a sixth grader, and I'll be here till he graduates, and I'll think what I'm going to do after that. But like, at that point, I get 6 years out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, these are some big things.
Well, and again, you look at it, renting is the same way as owning a business. I mean, you own a business when you're a landlord.
Oh yeah.
So we know that to acquire a new customer costs X number of dollars, but to retain that customer costs 2/3 less than that.
So much less.
And it's the same way as a landlord. To get a new tenant costs X number of dollars, but to retain a tenant costs so much less.
So much less. I mean, and that's and people that don't understand what we're saying, right? So like when I have a tenant turnover, right, I have to pay somebody to clean. I have to probably fix some stuff up. I probably have to paint or do flooring.
Yep.
Right. There's usually a bill. Now, again, so 1 year comes up and you stay there, the extra month, I didn't lose any of that money right there. Right. Like these, and so I'll go in and I always take a look at things. If I have to fix things, like I get them fixed, but like if they're happy, they're comfortable. We talked about it. I don't have high rents, comparable. Like 1,500, dude. Like I'm astounded because it's actually not far away from one of my places. And I'm crapping myself because I'm like, dude, I could probably get $300 more a month. And I'm just like, so if a tenant moves out, I'm like, it's $300 more in my pocket because I'm gonna shoot for the moon now. Like doing this idea, like I'm gonna try, right?
Well, you're one of the atypical landlords, I will say, because most places when you go, in year one, my bill is, we'll say $800 a month.
Yeah.
And year two, the raise comes, so you're $850.
Sure.
Year three, you're at $900. Nothing's changed for you.
Yep.
You're still living in the same place. You're still getting the same amenities. You're just paying $100 more than you used to. With you, I know you're not sitting there going, all right, well, you're stuck around an extra year. I'm going to charge you another $100 this year for this.
Right. And I mean, it's one thing I do fail at as a landlord, right? And I should do better.
You should, but I know you don't.
I don't, right? But when I first started, my rents were superiorly low, like just crazy low. And so, I went there and I was like, hey, I got to get an extra 15, or I think I went 20 or 10. I don't remember. It was such a small amount of money. I was like, hey, I got to raise your $10. Oh, okay. And I was like, and then honestly, like they lasted a while, but like once they left, like I shot for the new.
Yep.
Honestly, I shot for the new, but I took $50 to $75 off and got that like instantly, right? So like,
so I mean, if you're looking at your place and you should be getting, $1,000 on it, you're like, well, if I took $925, I'd be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I used to be making $800.
Right. Like to me, I got a $125 raise. Yeah. Okay, I'm losing 75, but again, my tenants and the way I build the business is I'm going to have it for a long time, right? I mean, they're going to be there for quite a while.
Well, that's what you want. You want those people to stick around because that's guaranteed money. Your mortgage isn't going up.
Right.
On whatever that property is.
Well, I mean, my property taxes will go up.
Your property taxes go up, but your mortgage isn't.
Right.
So, I mean, worst comes to worst, you're paying a little bit more a month.
Yep.
But if you have somebody in there that's good and taking care of it and not an issue tenant,
yep,
it's so much easier to just keep them there, keep them happy.
Yep. Well, so, I do, I usually start my tenants out on 1 year lease, right? And, that kind of gives me my first guarantee. And then honestly, they go month to month after that because, there's sure I can go in and do all the paperwork and do it all, but like, it just rolls over to month. I don't raise things. And then, I get the right to, at that point, like send them a notice. I did when I bought the 8 unit. I mean, they were so low on rent. Like I owned it for 6 months and then I was like, all right, hey, I have to jump everybody up $25, and I didn't hear anything from anybody. Like, because again, I watched one of my tenants while I was there walk across the street, and because after I raised it, and I was like, I'm laughing, and I talked to the property manager, and they go, oh, hey, they're looking for a place or whatever. And I was like, and you guys are at what, like $875? And I'm like, they're paying $675 now after the raise. I was like, they're not going anywhere. And she's like, yeah, no, not a chance. And I was like, yeah, good luck with it, right?
And you and I have different philosophies, obviously, on how to build wealth.
Sure.
Because you're a landlord and you don't have a problem doing that. You do a lot of your own fixes. You're not calling in property man. You don't have a property manager. You are the property manager.
Yeah, when we get that phone call and they say I want to talk to the manager, like
it's you.
Yeah, I don't even switch ears and say, yeah, it's the manager.
So I mean, for me, I'm not doing any of that because I don't want any of that added work. I'm taking money and I'm investing it somewhere because I just want my money to work. I don't want to have to do anything for it.
No, and that right, and that's exactly it. Like so like if we were to figure out percentages, right? Let's say you're at 25% of investing of your money monthly. Okay, so just so everybody knows, like I'm at 15 to 20. I mean, I haven't done the exact because my money fluctuates. 15 to 20 on, but honestly, I take the other. I take way more than that. But like I'm probably at 50% savings, but then I build up my cash reserve, and then I put that cash down on the next property, right? Like, so it's not like I'm not investing it. Sure, I'm not investing it to get to that point because I don't want to play the stock in case it loses or whatever. Like that means I have to go that many more months to get that money, and it's just not smart for me. So
you're looking for the next deal.
Oh, 100%.
The next real estate deal.
100%, right? Like, but I'm still investing. We talk about all that. Like, again, I'm in index funds. I'm in stock. I have my 401 that is just sitting around.
Again, when you look at me, I'm in Prosper, I'm in Fundrise, I have my 403B, I have my Roth IRAs, I have Stash, I have Acorns, I have Public, I have Betterment, I have all of these tools to make me more money because at some point I would like to retire. Not necessarily I'm going to quit my job because I like my job, and I'm not going to quit the break room because I like doing that too. But I want to be like you, and I want to say, yeah, I'm going away for a week. Bye.
Well, and that's exactly it. Like, right? Like that's my why, right? Like, why? Because I want to travel the world. Why? Because I want to give my family amazing memories, right? Like, I was listening to somebody who's a multimillionaire, and they talked about going to Europe, and they were like, we did it so cheap. He goes, we were the people who were dragging their bags down the streets. And not doing, they're like, but the fact is we still had the memories. He goes, you can go all out for it, right? Like the people that you hear, oh, I bought the Disney package and I went to the Disney this and did the Disney castle and did all the everything. Good for you. Like, right. That was a $20,000 trip. You know what? I went to Disney, but granted, I went to downtown Disney. I didn't go to the theme parks, but like I did my trip for, I don't know, my flight cost me, like that was a $1,300 trip for my wife and I for an entire week. Yeah, if I would have went to Disney, okay, it would have cost me an extra $300 for the tickets or whatever. But like, I don't need these because for me, going to Mexico and seeing the views, like that's like I don't need to stay at the high end resort. I don't need to stay at this. I could pay $600 or I can pay $1,600. What's the difference between $1,000? Oh, I get a quote unquote nicer place. No, but like to me, it's like I laid my head on a pillow. I don't really care. I still have that same memory. Like if I were to talk to, if I were to talk to another friend that's, I have a buddy that used to go and he stayed at all the high end places. Yeah, we stayed at this resort and oh, what an amazing thing. And like, it's funny because when we talked, we both sounded like we did the exact same thing. His was just, oh, the resort was just, and I was like, the mountains there, and did you see the water? And we took the boat trip across, and he goes, yeah, we stayed in the resort. And I'm like, oh, we took downtown to the Malecon, we did this. And he's like, yeah, we went to the Malecon, but then we went back to the resort. And I was like, yeah, we like traveled to town. It was just like, we both had one of the best experiences of our lives, right? But mine just cost cheaper. Like, it didn't matter to me. Like,
well, and again, we talked about our journeys last week.
Yeah.
And you love going to Mexico because it's cheap.
No, I love going to Mexico now because it's beautiful and it's cheap. I mean,
correct. I love going to Hawaii because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, right?
It's expensive. When we went in 2012, I spent somewhere between $7,000 and $8,000 on that trip.
Yeah.
all included for all three of us.
Right, and I could have done like 3 trips for that.
Right.
To different countries.
Correct.
I mean,
3 different trips.
Yeah. And
And I mean, again, when I'm on vacation, I'm just like you are. You do what you want when you want. It doesn't matter what it costs.
Yep.
Dawn and I got into a fight second day there, which is really your first full day,
sure.
because Caitlin wanted to buy a pearl.
Yeah.
And I let her. And Dawn just freaking flipped.
Yeah.
We fought for like 3 hours because of it. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm on vacation. We do whatever the hell we want on vacation.
Yep, that's it. Like, you're not going to get that. It's not like you're getting that opportunity every day, right? And sure, there's things that you look back at and go, oh, that was a stupid purchase, right? Like, we don't make stupid purchases, right? It's not like I'm buying, I don't know, a $100,000 purse while I'm there going, oh, I'm on vacation, like,
Right.
I brought it back. No, like, sure, I bought a $5 shoulder backpack. I was like, oh, it sits on my shelf, and I used it for a diaper bag. I mean, like, that's
we wanted t-shirts. You can go on Waikiki Beach and you can buy 6 t-shirts for $20.
Perfect.
And
I didn't know anything was that cheap.
Oh, absolutely. And I told Caitlin, I'm like, pick out 6 t-shirts you like. You get 6 of them.
Yep.
$20.
That's exactly it.
I mean, they have 3 ABCs on every block.
Sure.
And, for anybody that has not been to Hawaii, ABC is like Walgreens, but way smaller.
Oh, sure.
So, I mean, they have...
I'm thinking ABC Warehouse.
No, it's not ABC Warehouse, but it's basically just a little, almost like drugstore, but they have souvenirs and crap.
Sure.
And they have at least 3 on every block. And they all have the same shit, but you have to go in every ABC if you are in Waikiki. And they have like 150 in Waikiki, which Waikiki, for anybody that does not know, is like a mile and a quarter long.
They're just full.
They're just all over.
But the fact is like, right, like, when we talk about trips, when we talk about this stuff, we didn't take away from paying ourselves first. We didn't take away from our wealth. We didn't take away, right? We're not telling you people not to do these things. We're telling you to set your future up and then live your life, right? Like, it's really, when you put it that way, it's make sure you're set for the rest of your life and then live off of what you have.
Well, you have to sit down and set those goals for what you want.
Yes.
So, for me, I'm 43,
Yep.
which, way older than you. So I'm sitting here going, okay, well, I'd like to retire by the time I'm 60, which is, another 17 years.
Sure.
16 by the time we hit this summer. Not that I'm going to quit my job at that point, because again, if I still like my job and I want to work from home, I'm going to keep doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to have the ability to say, hey, I don't want to work for the next week and a half. Bye.
Well, that's, like, that's huge, right? Like,
yeah, you want to be able to sit down and make that list of this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, like, we look at this summer, Dawn and I have said before. So, I have not taken a vacation since 2012, which is 9 years ago.
Sure.
And, we've been living in the pandemic the last year.
Yeah.
And her and I both looked at our numbers and we're like,
you guys have had a couple vacation plans because you tried. Yeah.
We did, and it just kind of fell through.
Yeah. Pandemic.
We were supposed to do Vegas last February, and we decided, hey, it's going to be cold. Let's postpone that. We'll go on a cruise in October, and then pandemic. So we have a cruise planned for later this year, October of this year. Hopefully that happens.
Yep.
And at that point, it's not even just me and Dawn. It's Caitlin's going. My buddy, Mike, who joins us here, is going.
Yep.
But we're looking at numbers and where we make money at Break Room Therapy and where we don't. And the worst week we have here, for the 2 years we've been open has been consistent.
Yeah.
4th of July week.
Oh, sure.
Because people aren't staying in Grand Rapids. They're going somewhere else.
Sure. And you're not big enough known worldwide that people are coming here for work.
Right. People are not coming to Grand Rapids going, oh my God, I got to go to Break Room Therapy.
Sure.
So if we shut down for that week, we know we're not losing that much revenue.
Sure.
And her and I are like, okay, well, what might we want to do? And of course, she loves going to Baltimore to see her aunt. So we're talking about maybe we'll drive to Baltimore to see her aunt. And of course, on
baseball games.
We're looking on the way, and I'm like, maybe we could stop at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and maybe that night we could go to an Indians game.
Yeah.
And then, the next day we drive to Baltimore and we stay in Baltimore a couple days, and then we start driving back, and Pittsburgh's home at that point. Maybe we stop in Pittsburgh and watch a Pirates game.
Yep.
And then maybe we stop at Canton to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and then we come home.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a great week.
Yep. Well, that's, and that like when you look at it, when you look at it, it's exactly it. Like, hey, when we went to Seattle/Kansas City a couple years back, right? We met her family and stuff, and we're like, hey, we're going to a Royals game. Do you guys want to go? And they're like, oh, they're huge Royals fans.
Oh, absolutely.
So like,
beautiful ballpark.
Dude, instantly I was like, hey, I want front row, like these seats here, like, and so we got, the exact seats we wanted, and we paid a few $100s for everybody to get there, and we had, dude, it's like this is how much memories are. Like, I don't, sure, do I remember the money, but like I know that it was quite a bit for tickets. But like I ate nachos out of a fucking helmet. Yeah. I drank beers. Like I can tell you everything I did. I watched Moustakis freaking jack one, right? And I'm just like, I can tell you about this game. I can tell you what the memory is. Okay, I couldn't tell you how much the nachos were. Like if I had to guess, I'm sitting here like, I don't know, $16, right? But like the fact is I made the memory, and for you and I, like baseball is a big thing.
Well, again, so anybody that's joining us, anybody that listens to this later, Saturday, is our big baseball episode.
Yeah, huge.
Because we love baseball.
We're going to call it huge.
It is huge. Because we're getting sponsored, and we're big guys.
We are getting sponsored.
And by the way, we're not getting peanut butter porter. I guess they don't have that, so we have to pick something else.
Suck it. I mean, great. Thank you. No.
Either way. But so, of course, we're sitting there, and we talked about this in the episode with David Seawick, the professor.
Yeah.
And my first baseball game I ever went to was the Tigers-Yankees game. Tommy John won 9-0 over Eric King. But, we can sit there and look at first baseball games. I remember my first game at Wrigley Field. Mm-hmm. It was 1989. Sandberg and Dawson went over the fence.
Nice.
Sandberg was something crazy that week, like 4 home runs in 5 days or something.
Jeez.
So, I mean, I remember all of these things because your first, you always remember your first, if you're old enough to. Like, I don't think Caitlin remembers her first game. She was 5, almost 6.
Sure.
So she probably has no recollection.
Yeah, see.
But she remembers, the first game in 2007 she went to because at that point she's 12 years old.
Sure. Well, and I'll remember so many of my Tigers games, right? I mean, I'll remember the time the Triple Crown winner friggin' hits a foul ball, and I just put on suntan lotion, excuses after, and it goes straight through these 2 fingers, right? Yeah. And I said, I just lost a Triple Crown ball, so
I met him.
I think everybody has now.
I met him in the clubhouse.
Well, no,
because I was there for Star Wars night.
Oh.
And I'm in a room, getting my crap together, and he walked into the room and he's like, hey. And I went, hey. And then he turned out and he walked away, and I'm like, that was Miggy Cabrera.
That's fast.
Nice.
And when you look at it, it's the memories that you make, and right. But so that's your why. Like some people aren't even into sports, right? But they're into their family, and you got the older grandparents out there. I want to pay for my kids' college fund, and I want a cabin on the lake, and I want to retire. And it's like, all right, let's put those things in order. Like, which ones do you want first? Which ones are the most important to you? And it's like, if the cabin on the lake gives you the memories for your grandkids or whatever for getting through life, and you can't pay for the college, are you okay with that, right? Like then you change your order. But it's like, we can get you what you want. You just have to understand what you want and why you want it, right? Because I mean, like my grandparents, right? They wanted things for themselves, but we used the things, and that was, their biggest why was their family. I mean, that was huge.
So one of my favorite shows is Parks and Rec.
Yes.
And I'm, so Mikey always says, when you look at Parks and Rec, you can figure out who him, Benson, and I are.
Sure.
So Benson is Ron because they both love bacon. And they're both libertarians.
Give me all of your bacon.
All of your bacon and eggs.
And eggs.
I'm Ben because...
How much do you want?
All of it.
All of
it. When I say all of it, you're thinking, I want a lot of bacon and eggs. That's not true. I want all of it. I'm a Ben because I love numbers, and he's Andy because he's an idiot.
That's what say Mikey is Andy. That's true.
So I mean, you know, I remember Ben got pissed in an episode because his parents sold some lake house.
Sure.
And when he got down to it, the thing that pissed him off was he couldn't give his kids the same memories he had at that lake house as what he had.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, when we're sitting there looking at stuff, you know, that's important to people. Those memories are important. Like my house in Plainwell, you've been there.
Oh yeah.
I love my house in Plainwell. My wife and daughter have zero attachment to it. They couldn't care less about it. When I drop dead, they're selling that place.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
But to me, it means a lot. You know, if Caitlin has kids some days, I want them to be able to go to that house and have a good time.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was every summer. I was in the pool, or I was throwing off the pitchback, or I was throwing off the side of the house, or you know, I was in the house watching a game, and then Harry went on the radio, and now I go outside to listen to the game, and then Harry gets off the radio, goes back to the TV, I go back inside, and then Ernie's on later. It was always for me about that house.
Yep. Well, you know, and I think everybody has that. Like, you know, most people don't move, or, you know, most people, what is it? They stay in their house for, I think it's an average of 7 years. Well, now it's gone down, I think, to like 5.5. Right? That's how long you stay in the house. Yeah. But, you know, back then, right, people stayed. I mean, your mom still has the same house, right? Like,
yeah. My grandma bought that in 1972.
I mean, I'm 32. My mom's been in her house for 31 and a half years.
Yeah.
Like, my grandparents, like literally the same house. My wife's grandparents, they were in one house and then they bought a brand new build, and like they were in that house for 50 some years. Like, right?
Well, even your house. How long has your wife lived in your house?
I mean, her parents only not long. So like,
but it's still longer than you have lived in your house.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because it was her parents' house.
Yep. And so, you know, when you know, and so she likes it, right? But like, I couldn't care less about the house.
It's
right?
just
like,
a house to you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and you know, it's because we went up to a friend of ours cabin up in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, oh man, I would love being here. And my wife's like, I could never live here, right? And then we were down in East Grand Rapids, or you know, Easttown or whatever it is. And there's a house there, and she's like, oh, I want to live here. And I'm like, I could never live here, right? And she's like, you know, we really are in the neighborhood we're supposed to be in, aren't we? And I was like, it's the happy medium, right? Like,
nope.
I don't have to go, like, I have enough space to where I don't have to see my neighbor. You know, I love my neighbor. My neighbors, that's fine. But like, we're not on top of each other, like, you know. And my wife gets that like interaction, and she's on the Facebook group, she's on everything.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to interact. You know, my wife, she's the kind of person who's like, I don't want to talk to people, but like she's like the most like she really is social. I mean, not as social like as I am, but like she really gets into like things and she wants to develop and grow. And I'm just like,
my wife's that way too. I don't want to talk to nobody.
Like, you know, but like I do, but it's probably not about the same things you want to talk about. Like, I won't bite on your stupid, oh, we need to go get another library and we need to do this. And I'm like, no, the library that we have is plenty fine. Like, does it have books in it? Yes. Does it hold those books? Yes. Does it need fixed? Well, it could use updating, so everything's fine. Yep. Okay, sounds like it's doing its job.
Well, yeah.
Well, what about a game room? When we need a game room? And I'm like, you have a kitchen table? It's a fucking game room. Like, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we look at it. So, like, everybody in my neighborhood looks at my wife and they're like, man, she's the outspoken one.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, because she'll talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm not, you can walk by and say hi to me, and I'm probably not saying hi back because I don't want to talk to you and I don't know you and I'm not going to.
Which is weird because, you know, I guess I'll spark up with my neighbors, but like in my own little community, right, I am very quiet and reserved, which is weird for me. Because like people will walk by, right? And I guess I'll wave, but I won't say hey and try to get to, like, you know, it took me forever to figure out, like, to know my neighbor, like, and now like we're good friends and stuff like that. But like, really, I guess because like those people are so close, let's say, like, I don't need you knowing about me. I don't need to know about you. Like, you know, I want to, I want to make sure that we're getting along, but otherwise, really, like, I just see that you're walking. I don't need to, I don't need to have you tell me, oh, I just bought a new Corvette. Oh, I got a new riding lawnmower. And I'll be like, yeah, mine's still working. you know? Hey, when are you guys going to get that trash out of your yard? I don't know. When you give me a case of beer for, like, somebody just posted that they're looking to get a free trailer or this and that. And I was like, I'm not giving it to you free, but take a case of beer for it. And he goes, whatever you want. And I'm like, I'm about to give this guy a free trailer because I don't want to fix it and it doesn't mean shit to me. Like,
Right.
Sure, I'll lose a bunch of money, but whatever. I don't really care. But I'm at this point of, like, honestly, I don't need to pay attention to what you buy, right? I give my neighbor crap because he buys stuff all the time and it's funny to me. He just got a hot tub and I make fun of him. I'm like, oh, rich fancy people. And he'll be like, oh, you got a pool. And I was like, bought it. I was like, if you would have got the discount I got in that pool, I was like, literally, I almost got a free house with the purchase of a pool. Like, that's really.
Well, I know you would get rid of that pool in a heartbeat.
Oh man, somebody comes and says, hey, I'll fill it in for free. I'll be like, yours? No, my wife would kill me, but like, oh, all day.
I'll kill you too.
Yeah,
because I enjoy swimming in that pool every summer.
And that tells you how much I care about you.
You don't. I know. It's okay.
Like you enjoying my pool. I enjoy the fact that you enjoy my pool, but honestly, it wouldn't change my life if I didn't have the pool and you didn't enjoy the pool.
I'll bring some hot dogs.
See, I mean, all right, but
and some beer.
I mean, now we're talking. Now I might keep the pool for a day, but like
for a day,
I'll get a kiddie pool. You can come sit in the kiddie pool.
Like, I don't want the kiddie pool. I like the big pool.
But anyway, so like when we talk wealth, right? Like you get back to the fact that wealth is something, everybody tells you, you can't make money easy, right? And it's like, man, it's kind of a lie. Okay, you have to work. Well, I think that's the other point, right? I know I didn't explain the last one, but like that's the other point is we're so trained. Go to work every day,
yep.
Work hard, get a paycheck. That's how you make money. Now, when you invest your money, like, and you self-do it, you're not working hard. Like, you don't think, sure, you work hard for that 5 minutes it takes you to set it up, but like, really, it's just that simple. It's funny because it bugs me so much that we'll watch infomercials that's right, like, just set it and forget it. You can cook this chicken. It's good. And you guys will go buy this fucking chicken and like, this thing that cooks chicken because I could set it and forget it and not have to worry about it. You can do the same with your damn money. Like, just go do it. Put your money out there, set it, forget it, let it grow. Remember your username and password, right? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, but people aren't looking at it that way. They're not sitting there going, hey, if I just, throw an extra $10 a month here or $10 a paycheck here, it's going to, grow exponentially for the next 20 years and maybe I won't have to work as long.
Yeah,
they're not thinking about that.
Oh, God, no. Because we go back to the chicken, right?
Correct.
Oh, I set it and forget it. And it takes me 19 minutes and it's done.
They want that instant gratification of, I can have it today.
Yeah. But I know how we can be rich. Like, okay, we shouldn't talk about this on air, but we're going to right here, right now.
Because that's what we do.
Yes. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to have instant gratification of like day trading type thing. Yeah. So like we're going to create an app where you throw money into and we show you your gains every minute type. So that way you can see your instant gratification, right? You'll see your negatives and that'll eat you alive. But you'll learn that, hey, it's going to go up. It's going up. And, we'll send you lovely reminders every day of a text that says, just remember, kid, this is going to go far. Hey, you're doing great, sport.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like, go get your old man a beer that you just paid for with this interest, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the greatest app we've ever created. This is brought to you by Bucks and Brews. It's going to be an app that's going to come out someday. That way people can have instant gratification.
$9.95 a month.
Yep. I mean, this is going to be great. $9.95 a month, and you invest $10, and we'll give you your first penny, so that way you can see your instant gratification.
Correct.
This is perfect. Yep, I like it.
So, and again, I mean, when we look at this stuff, nobody is willing to play that long game, and that's what kills me is they don't want to play the long game.
Yeah.
It takes time to make money. It takes time. It literally takes time to do anything worth doing.
Well, it takes time. When you say it takes time to do money, like to make money. Okay, nobody pays you up front. No, to make money. Okay, so like when I had a 9-to-5 job or whatever, I punched in. Once I punched out, a week later I got paid.
Or 2 weeks, depending on the job.
Right, like but like even if I quit 30 minutes in, they owe me for that 30 minutes. I had to work that 30 minutes to get paid. Like it wasn't like, hey, pay me and I'll work the 30 minutes, right?
I think the people that really know how to generate wealth are the ones that can sit there and say, okay, I make X number of dollars.
Yep.
And I'm going to go out to lunch today because I love to eat lunch. So, like, one of the people I'm texting right now is her son's the one that's going to come on with us, and he made, all this money and spent it
He
on.
didn't make money. He's a bum.
He spent it on breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Tell him he's a bum.
No. So, I mean, when you look at it, you're like, okay, I make, let's say, $20 an hour.
Yep.
And I decide I'm going to go to lunch today, and it's going to cost me $15.
It's $5 an hour.
Or that's 3/4 of 1 hour of your work.
Yeah.
And when you can start breaking things down that way and say, okay, like with me, I like to buy autographs.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I look at it, I'm like, man, that autograph's going to cost me 3 hours of work.
Yeah.
Do I really want it for 3 hours? And maybe the answer is yes, absolutely I do.
Yeah.
But if I look at a different one and go, man, that's going to cost me 15 hours of work. Do I want to spend 15 hours of work to get that? Maybe I don't.
Right. Well, and I think we look at it different when we're looking at that is, so I look at things, so we have 3 8-hour blocks, right? And let's assume that you're the person that needs 8 hours of sleep. So you sleep for 8. You work 9 to 5, which is 8 hours, right? So you have another 8 hours,
Yep.
right? Now, how quick can you go spend a paycheck?
I mean, literally, I could spend it in 2 minutes.
Okay, right? So, like, now what are you going to do for the other 7 hours and 58 minutes, right? So, the idea is to gain that amount of money to where you don't need to worry about how many hours it is, because guess what? You're out earning those hours, right?
Yep.
Like, you're beating those hours completely. And, so, and we talk, if you live within your means, not even below your means, right? Within your means, get the house that's, cheaper, live in the smaller house. Like, if you don't take these extravagant things, if you don't do this, like, you're still going to be able to do all of it. You just don't have to do it in a lavish life. I drive a 2010 Scion XB. Is it it's cool. It sticks
It's
out.
purple. I like it.
It sticks out, right? But, like, is it the most amazing 7 Series BMW or, Rolls Royce or Bugatti or like whatever? No, like, right? But it gets me from A to B. And okay, yeah, it's got some awesomeness to it because I think it does. I think we look at it and just say, hey, you know what? Someday I'll be able to go. I mean, that's the car I want. So I'll be able to buy all 2000 have ever been created unless they got totaled. Like forever I could drive the same car.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about that amount of money. When you're used to making, say, $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year, okay, and you put your $100 away, which is a lot of money making that kind of money, right? So you're making, instead of $600 a week, you're making $500 a week, okay? Because what, $1,200 every 2 weeks is like $32,000 a year, right? Now, if you live off of less than that, okay, so you put it away. When you get to $1 million, you're at $40,000 a year, right? And you can get to that point, if you're 18 years old and you're making that money, dude, by the time you're 50, 55, whatever it is, you're gonna have $1 million. You're gonna be making $40,000 a year just in interest.
Yep.
And you're so used to living off of 30. And by the time you get up there, sure, you're making, I don't care, 40,000 a year, but you've just replaced it completely. And guess what? Now at 50 years old, guess what you're doing? You don't have to, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, you could do the same thing that you do every day, but now you choose what you do. Now you get the opportunity to say, hey, like when I took this current position type thing, right?
Yep.
My 3 demands were, I get to wear sandals whenever I feel like. Okay. I want unlimited vacation, right?
Yep.
I don't, and I don't abuse vacation, right? Like, sure, I'll try to take a early Friday or whatever, but like, I just don't. But like, if I want 6 weeks, 1 week every 2 months or whatever, or 3 weeks off, like, okay, like, great. Like, I'm planning to go to Europe in the next, my daughter's 5. My hope is in 5 years, like, so that way she understands it and gets it.
Yep.
So, right, like, we're going to go away for the summer and we're going to go to Europe for 3 weeks, right? Like, So the rule was I get the vacation I want, right? And my third demand is literally I don't answer to anybody, right? Like, hey, yes, I have to live by the rules, but I understand the rules because I am a landlord, right? Like, and okay, I trust you, like, right? Like, if we have any problems, I handle them in this specific way. If you have any problems, you have to come directly to me. Okay, I can do that. Because guess what? Like, there's never going to be questions, right? Like, it's not a thing.
Well, and again, when we're looking at generating wealth, so like, this time of the year is raise time where I work.
Must be nice.
At the end of the day, I got a 3% raise.
And where'd that 3% go?
What? Most of it goes to taxes.
All of it goes to taxes.
Most. So again, when I look at it, we're talking about approximately $70 a paycheck.
Good money.
Before taxes.
Sure.
So after taxes, $50?
Sure. Where'd that $50 go?
If I'm smart, which I am,
yeah,
I'm living off of whatever I used to make.
Sure.
And that $50 just goes into some investment somewhere.
And I think now I'm going to talk to non-David but very smart person.
Okay.
So
okay,
David, things are a little tight because you've been investing like crazy, and I respect the fact that you're doing that. I respect you for putting 15 to 25% away.
Yep.
Dude, you're doing great. Give yourself a $10 you said paycheck, $70 a paycheck?
Yeah, so about $50 take home.
So give yourself an extra $10. Take yourself out, have fun. I want that $40. So I want 80% of that to go into investments. And you're gonna go, man, I just bought myself 2 beers at the bar. I just bought myself not one of Nick's subs a week, but
half a Nick sub a week.
Jesus, no, it's $2 off to get the sub, so it was still been $13. Jesus. But
I don't need it at that place because it's way too expensive.
Say it is. I go there like once every 6 months.
I coach this guy.
But so the fact is like, right, I'm gonna tell you, dude, congratulate yourself. Say, hey, I've earned it. I've devoted my time to this. This is what I do. And then but make sure you reinvest in yourself. And dude, honestly, again, as we said, 80%, right? So $40, 80%, you're giving yourself an 80% pay raise.
Yep.
And you're getting 20% of that amount of money. And so you're doing fine. Like, okay, so we just talked about two things. If you're not a beer drinker, sure, but like, I don't care. Like, you just bought yourself two baseball card packs, right? Like,
well, $10. We talked about it at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I caught crap from Mike and Mikey because I bought a case of Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a Miller Lite fan, but
because you should be a Bud Light fan.
Bud Light's so much worse.
No,
Miller Lite and Coors Light way better. But either way, I mean, that's not my beer of choice.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking to save a little bit of money, I'll drink a Miller Lite. I'll drink a Coors Light. I don't care because it's cheaper. I can buy 24 of those for the same price that I can buy 6 of Rourke Brewing Company's French Toast Double Dog Oatmeal Stout.
It's a fact. And it's nothing against Rourke. I mean, they put their time, their effort.
Their beer is awesome.
I say that. Like, one thing about microbrews is we don't, they, like, look at the Mitten. Okay, we bring them out.
Love the Mitten.
Which we got to get them as a sponsor.
We do.
But
Cracker Jack.
Oh, yeah, peanuts, Cracker Jack would be great. But, like, so we look at them and, dude, how many pizzas did they give during COVID?
My God, so many.
How much do they do for the community, right?
They do so much charity work, it's unreal.
It's insane, right? But like, now what's the last thing you've seen Budweiser sponsor?
NASCAR?
No, I don't think they have beer or tobacco.
Yeah, but don't they still sponsor like Dale Jarrett?
I don't think there's beer or tobacco on any cars.
Oh, well.
Right, but like,
if I know.
So I mean, okay, so
they pulled their ads at the Super Bowl. So
okay, so they sponsor the Super Bowl. I'll give you that. I mean,
no, they didn't do it this year.
Year they didn't. Sure, because out of respect for whatever. But like, I mean, you look at okay. We only give to big things, and it's like, man, like the mom and pop shops. Those are the things like that impact you. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, without large corporations, we wouldn't have things, but without small corporations giving back as much as we did.
You know as well as I do. So, I'm a small business owner.
Yep.
Every dollar that's spent here stays here. It stays in this community because I employ X number of people here, so they're spending their money here. I'm spending my money here.
Well, but you're taking, let's say 10%. You're going to go on vacation, so I would say 5%.
Yeah, but again,
Right?
When's the last time I took a vacation?
Right, but I can't say all my money stays here, but I'm saying like,
but a good majority.
Oh yeah, right. Like 95% of it, like, would stay here. Okay, so. My wife, sure, she's an Amazon person. Myself, not so much. She buys on Amazon, so her money goes there. But the fact is you look at these. This was a huge thing for me. Okay, so my wife and I are watching more TV when our daughter goes to bed.
Okay.
So we don't have internet or cable, but we have borrowed Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're watching.
You get free Hulu with our phones.
Yeah, that's how we get it. We get our free Hulu with our phone. That's what it is. We don't share. But so that being said, so I was watching this cooking show, and it was like Chefs Around the World or whatever.
Okay.
I think it's called Final Table. It was a fantastic show. But so there's a guy who owns he's a 3 Michelin star down in Chicago, which we want to go to, and it's like $300 to $400 per sitting. And I looked up his net worth, right? And I was like, man, 3 Michelin stars, this guy's got to be killing it, right? His net worth is $700,000. He's one of the top chefs in the
entire. Yeah, he's not killing it.
Right? Like, no, like 3 Michelin stars, you would think. Okay, so I mean, granted, I look up, Rachel Ray's like 7th highest paid at like $60 million, but I was sitting here going, holy cow, okay, so like you could be the best in what you do. So like now, right? That just tells me he's not. He's running his business and doing whatever, but like he's not investing in other things, or he's the mitten and giving away
a lot of it.
But I've never once heard his company giving away anything. And when you Google him, it doesn't show that he's giving. Like, hey, he sponsored this. Like, when you look at the Mitten Brewing, man, it just pops up for like, hey, this, for all the things that they're doing.
Well, I will say it again, and if the Mitten's listening, I think the next Beer Me podcast duo with Bucks and Brews needs to be at the Mitten.
Yep.
And I think they should sponsor that and give us, at least a beer each.
Yeah, even if we go there and pay our own beers like we did last time.
I'm okay with that.
Say, give us some space and let us have fun.
Yeah.
I might be able to set that up. I know a brewer there. So
I have a mug there now.
We have a Mug Club member and I know a brewer. I think we can make this happen. So we would like to collaborate with Beer Me again.
Love Beer Me.
They're good guys.
Very good guys.
I think it's just it bugs me how easy, because like, right, and I think that's the hard part is nobody believes how easy it actually is, because nothing in life is free, nothing in life is easy is what people say. But you're right. It's because when you said it, it's not easy. Why? Because you're working your ass off 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and there's people listening going, I work 90. Good for you. Like, dude, you're working 90 hours a week for what? Like, just to get by? Like, because you have a BMW 7 Series? I mean,
well, we talk about it. Losing weight is easy. Sure. And we're both fat guys. We like to eat. We like to drink.
Yeah, I say.
So we're not losing any weight anytime soon because we like to eat and we like to drink.
Yeah, we don't do the easy. Not everybody does the easy thing in life.
Correct. It would be much easier to just eat a salad every day.
Yeah. And
not drink beer.
Yeah, I mean, right? Because I would know what I eat every day and I know what I drink every day. Water but And that's the thing. It's boring, right? Like
it's the same with money.
Money is so fucking boring. Like when you think about it, it's so boring, right? Like you just sit there.
Spending it can be fun.
Oh, very much.
But
watching it grow,
boring as hell.
I mean, like I honestly, so like in my accounts, I get excited to go to like the next. Started out as getting to 1,000. It started out as getting to like my first 10,000. It started by getting to my first, bigger numbers and stuff. And so like, I remember having times where it was like, yeah, I'd be close to getting 10,000, and I'm 2,500 away. Going, I instantly I just hit super mode, and I'm like everything. And I tell my wife, I'm like, Courtney, we're like, no, I'm getting this. And
we can't spend money.
Yeah, and like just hungry, and boom, I get it. And like when I talk about unfulfilled, right? Like it's not like I felt unfulfilled. I was very proud of myself for a day or two or three maybe, and I was like, cool. And then I looked at it, and I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with 10K?
Yeah.
All right, cool, great. Like, and then, like by the time I got over being proud of it, like my numbers are probably at like $14,000, right? Let's say. And I'm like, that's not even a fun number. Like, all right, now I got to eat 25, right? Like I'm sitting there going, all right, And so like I have to set new goals. So like I don't set my goals high enough. But like when you set unattainable goals of what you think, and that's the whole thing is like, honestly, I know I can get to 10 million bucks, right? I know how to do it. I know everything. And I'm just like, all right, honestly, when you think about this, the strategy, it's so boring, right? Set my money, forget it, and go. Like I love the chase of real estate. I really do. There's deals where it's like, oh, I just want to chase it down and do it. But money is so boring. I mean, really, what you do with it is amazing. What it actually does to get there, it's mindless work, right? I mean, honestly, my 3-year-old can do it. Why? Because I hand her like this is what blows my mind. Okay, so she's 5, right? And want to know how I know my kid is going to be successful? Because I hand her money, and what does she do? Runs to her piggy bank, throws it in there. So yes, okay, you want to talk about how it's not hard work? Okay, people that are making cash jobs, people that are not getting direct deposit, so it takes you work to go to the bank and put it in the bank and not take that cash out, right? That's the biggest key. Don't take the money out. So like instantly go to the bank, transfer money over to here, set up another account. Yeah, okay, that all takes time. I was just at the bank yesterday or whatever it was, and I was talking about things, and I was like, hey, I need checks, I need this, I need that, and I'm like, like Steve, I love you and I love coming here, but man, like I really hate coming here, you know?
When we look at it, so like, you know, we talked about it on our journey thing. So, you know, your big thing was the Sega.
Yeah.
My big thing was, you know, the first gaming system I had was an Atari 2800.
Yeah.
And I'm a gamer from way back. I look at money as a video game.
Sure.
So every time I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, well, if I make this move, and this move, it'll equal this over here.
Have you ever played Clash of Clans by chance?
I have not.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
Okay. So like in there you get gold, you know, elixir and whatever, and gems. Okay. Yeah. So I post with my clan, and I like to tell you how much of a saver I am. Okay.
Yep.
On this game, I have 38,000 gems. Okay. Which, honestly, when you look at it, it's a total of like $250 in if I were to have to go buy them.
Right.
And they're like, well, how'd you get that? And I was like, I don't spend my gems. Why wouldn't you spend your gems? And I was like, I don't know. I just save them. Like, because I let the time go. I build it. I do whatever. Like, there's no point in me rushing it, because rushing it, all it does is get to the end of the game, or it does this. And like, okay, when I play like first person shooters, I want to get to the end of the game. I want to beat it. But like, I don't spend the money to get there. Like, I'll take 3 times to try that level. You know, there's a point where if I have to start all the way over and I'm on level 12, like, I'm not, you know, like I'm going to spend the gem. I'm going to waste the free life. I'm going to do whatever. But like, really, like I have $250,000 worth of gem, just saying, because I'm a saver, right? Like when I play like Greg Hastings paintball from back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you start out with like a Tippmann A5 paintball gun, and like the highest you can get was like, I don't know, a Bob Long Intimidator or a Smart Parts Shocker.
Yep.
And it was like, you can get all this stuff along the way. You can get like hoppers, and you can do whatever. And like, there's a couple levels where they make you have to like upgrade, because otherwise you won't beat it. But like, I build up everything, or I go back and replay all these levels just to build up enough money, just so I have that end, right? Because I'm an end result kind of guy. I really like, I will go replay all these, or I'll save so much just to get to that final, because, you know, and they're like, why don't you say, well, honestly, how do I know they're not going to come up with an update that's like, hey, 20,000 gems and you just have this, and like, you know, it's going to cost $200 for everybody else. And I'm like, here you go. Like, I officially have something, you know, like I have the end goal. Like, how do you play video games?
You know what? I'm the same way. So like Grand Theft Auto is a good example.
Yeah.
So in Grand Theft Auto, I'm never buying the most expensive guns.
Yeah.
I'm buying what will get me to the goal I need to get to, which is usually a cheaper gun with a whole lot of ammo.
Yeah.
That way I can just sit there and shoot and shoot and shoot.
Yeah. But your bank account still got
my bank account is still like, I'll buy 20 grenades. Yep. Sure. Because I want to launch a grenade every now and then and blow a whole bunch of crap up.
Yep.
But otherwise, you know, I'm going to keep a pistol, or I'm going to keep, you know, a submachine gun, and I'm going to shoot those.
Yep.
Because I'm not interested in the Uzi that's expensive and doesn't hit shit anyways.
Right. And you know, so that's, and I think that's a funny thing. So like, parents, you know, we should do an episode on that with like, kids, if you want to teach yourself about money, like play video games and understand that like, hey, if you save, you're going to get something better later that'll help you, and
Yep.
you don't have to go back and do this. Like, because if you have to double back to do things, it takes you longer to get there. If you were to just save and do things the slow way, right? In the end, you're ready for it. Like, here we go, your game
Yep.
keeps going. Now you watch your buddy, and it's funny, right? Because like my friends, I mean, I have a buddy on there who like he plays all the time, and he's maxing out and doing, and all of his gems are gone, and I'm just like, and then the upgrade comes, and he's on there, and I'm like, I don't know, I've been playing 3 years less than him, and I'm not far behind, and I'm sitting here going, are you enjoying the game? Yes. Am I enjoying the game? Yes. Like, and I know about his personal life, right? Like, they refinanced, paid off a bunch of debt, and they're going back into debt. Like, I'm not saying negatives, but I'm just saying, like, when you look at how you, even in video games, like how you do them, teaches you a lot about how you invest money, man.
Well, yeah, I'm very conservative when it comes to spending fake money.
Yep.
And I'm also very conservative when it comes to spending real money.
Well, it's, we bring up, so we talked about our financial, but like when I was a kid, my parents would give us $1, right?
Yep.
And I'd walk up to the truck stop, and I had two brothers, right? And two brothers and a sister. And so my one brother, he'd grab a, back then pop was cheap, right? So I think he'd grab like a Shasta and a candy or whatever, and all right, I'm done. And like I had another brother who would just buy, back then zebra cakes or whatever would be like 25 cents. So he'd buy a couple of those. And I'm sitting there like taking my time, figuring out what I want. And then all of a sudden, like, I go play a video game that cost me $0.25, and like I'm playing pinball for like 2 hours, and then come on, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna get a Shasta for 25 cents. I'm gonna get a little Debbie cake for another $0.25, and then I got a $0.25 in my pocket. So like, I've played a video game, I bought the same stuff you're doing. It took me so much longer, but like, instead of getting a Coke like my brother, I got a Shasta. So like,
right.
Yeah, Shasta. Like, depending if you got Dr. Shasta or whatever it was, it was just as good as Dr. Pepper back in the day. I wouldn't get the cola. Anything except for Coke sucks. But I always have been that guy to think about my purchases. Like, what can get me the best bang for my buck? When I go buy fireworks, and we were talking about 4th of July, you guys are slow, and I was going to bring it up. Like, it's because people are spending all their money on fireworks and spending ready for a party. They're not coming here. Like, they're getting ready for big events. Now, when I go to buy fireworks, right, I used to live, I mean, granted, we were poor, but like, I lived off dollar store fireworks. I used to drive to Indiana so I can get the big mortars, because they were, and I still do it, because like, you can't find $2 6-packs around here. You can go get mortars, right? You get the 6 or the 8-pack. It costs you $2 down in Indiana, and we would just load up an entire trunk full. And I'm at $100, and I got bottle rockets for free just for walking in the door. 25 cents for an entire brick of firecrackers, and I had mortars up the wazoo. And I'm like, I just tie them all together, and here we go. Like, I was a bargain shopper.
And if you got them for free, does that mean you went to Crazy Kaplan's?
No, I don't. Whatever's across the border.
Just across the border.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No.
So I go farther. I go to eat. I like Sheldon.
Yep.
Which is exit 16.
Sure.
Or I like Crazy Kaplan because he gives a ton of free shit.
Yeah.
And he's crazy.
Say, but like we just knew it would. I mean, honestly, if they go up, and and I have friends that will go out and spend $300 on a pack of them, and they get 50 things.
Yeah.
And okay, there's boom booms where I have to light 2 of them to go boom boom, but I've paid 1/50th the price, and the kids all go, oh. Don't get me wrong, I opened all my boxes, so I had all my things, so like 5 of us have to light it at the same time. And then I learned you could buy extra wick. That took me a little while to learn, but I have no problem with this stuff. Like, budgeting and thrift spending is completely fine with me, right?
Well, and my wife complains because I'm the type of person that, if we're going to a con, I'm going to spend whatever I want to spend.
Yep.
And to her, it's a waste of money, which that's fine. She likes to buy what she likes, and I like to buy what I like.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to, real spending of money, we're both very thrifty shoppers. We know what we're spending and what we're okay spending and where we want to spend it.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, that's how you really accumulate wealth.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, your wife spends, let's say $10 a week or whatever, $10 a day, stupid, like, on stuff that she wants, right? And you don't, but like you just go to con and buy one really expensive thing, know. And so it's delayed gratification.
Yeah.
So we're used to it. we're okay with it.
Well, and she knows as well that if I'm doing something, I have budgeted for whatever that event is.
Yep.
And she may not like it, but
Yep.
we're just not going to talk about it. That keeps us happy and healthy.
Yeah, and that's honestly talking about it. So like we're gonna do an episode, I know, about talking with your spouse about finances, right?
Oh, that'd be a good one.
It's it's a huge thing in our lives. We talked about your journey. We talked about mine a little bit and where my wife's come from, but we're gonna get in depth into it in an episode. Even to now, like my wife, she, again, I think people should save 25%, right? I mean, it's very possible. It's very doable. We have constant arguments with people all the time, but I personally am like, if I can save 80%, say, and she's like, no, we got to spend money. We got to live life. And I'm like, I get that, right? So she brings me down to a lower amount of money, but like, if it was me, we would still be in my mom's basement. Like, this, right? Like, we would be in my mom's basement. I would be the most filthy rich person, like not spending money. And then like one day I would just come out and be like, I have enough money. See ya. Like, I officially am doing what I want for the rest of my life. And it could be anywhere from, I don't know, 40 and less years old. And I would just do those things. Like, but instead I had to find a different way. So I chose real estate. So, I think there's so many ways to tackle this, but really the biggest key is to make sure that it happens. Like my real estate funds go into a savings account. Like my betterment goes direct deposited into my betterment. My 401k came out of my Roth came out of my paycheck early. I didn't see any of it. Sure, when I looked at my paycheck, I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of money. Man, so like when you're taking home, when you should be taking home, I don't care, $1,100 or whatever it is, and because you worked 65 hours that week, and then all of a sudden you take home $500, you look at your taxes, you're like, yeah, and then you look at your investments, you're like, oh man, I could have an extra $200. That sure helped me. No, that $200 will not help you. It just won't, right? Like, because you're a spender. You're the person that just spends. And if you think that 25% is too much, sure, start with 15. Start with 5%. Start with and then once you get that raise, make sure you do it. Like, make sure you invest. Make sure you invest. Make sure you invest.
When we're looking at generating wealth, again, it's the same as anything else. You have to set a plan and stick to that plan. That has to be the most important thing you're looking at that point. So I know with some of our episodes coming up, we have somebody that's going to join us that, they want to talk about, should they get a new car or should they save money to move out?
Sure.
So we're going to sit down and we're going to talk through that entire issue with this person because they don't know what way to go. And I mean, I know what I think they should be doing because I know what their car is.
Sure.
But they're going to sit down and they're going to, basically present two options, and we're going to sit there and go, okay, well, this is how I see it. And again, set forth a plan.
Sure.
Stick to it and figure out how to eventually, make that plan successful and build that wealth.
Oh, and I think I'll elaborate on it a little bit, right? So a plan / a dream, right? So like a car or moving out. So that's a dream. Okay. Now, what does it take? A dream without action is just a dream. Right? Like, hey, we all were kids at one point, right? And again, mine was a Dodge Viper and whatever, but like, if you don't take action to get that. So like, and then I learned through time that like, it's just not the greatest idea. Like, I mean, granted, this big in a Dodge Viper, I mean, I don't care how it looks.
Doesn't really work.
And it's but like, sure, right? But again, anything without action is just that thing. Like, if you don't take action to do it, so if you're not investing and you're listening to this, like, that's what, like, with Mike, right? It was like, you can sit here and listen so much, but without action, you're just getting information. And then all of a sudden, that was like why I was so happy for me, for sure. Like we do this. We don't do this for any financial being. Like this week cost me, I mean, $15 for a sub, $6 for drinks, whatever it is. Like we don't get paid for that.
$12 a six pack.
We don't get paid. But like, what do we get out of it? To that one person that proved to us and showed us that they took steps. Like, look at Vanessa. I mean, okay,
Huge.
honestly, like, what do we get out of that? We get one other person that's going to join us someday in being financially successful, and like they're going to change their family tree.
Well, I mean, I know on a Sunday, Eric's going to join us because he's working second shift now.
Yeah.
And he has all these things to share with you. And he's like, he had gone live last Sunday.
Yeah.
And I listened to him, and he gave us a huge shout out. And thank you to Eric and the Gumball Kalamazoo broadcast for giving us a great shout out. And I listened to it. It was like 15 minutes long. And he said during it, he goes, man, I hope Nick doesn't hear this. And I went, don't worry, I won't tell Nick about it.
Yeah.
Because he has, he talked about things he wants to share with you, and he wants you to hear it for the first time when we're broadcasting together, because he's going to do Gumball Head at the same time we're doing Bucks and Brews.
Sure.
And he's going to tell you, hey, we talked in November, and this is what has happened since.
Sure. Well, it's like those things, and that's great because like it makes me so happy. Okay, yeah. They talk to you a heck of a lot more, but like, dude, that's what gives me my passion. That gives me my drive. That gives me like this wanting to come back. And we talked about in the beginning of the episode, like we were so late coming into this. We weren't sure if this was going to happen because David's like, hey, it might have to be tomorrow. And I'm sitting here going, dude, I got to get ready to buy a house. I still got this to go. Like, dude. And he's like, all right, I'm going to be late if you can make late. And I'm like, my wife's watching TV. We're making it late. Like because this interaction with everybody listening right now, everybody watching, we do this for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, we're going to do it without you. Like, let's be honest. But we do this because we want to help everybody else understand that you can have everything in life.
We want to share that knowledge.
You just got to do it. Dude, we go back so much to past episodes because you're going to get overlap all the time. We talk about your journey. You were in fucking debt. You were so broke, you went bankrupt.
Yep.
Like, that sucks, right? But now you see what your life has changed, right? It's like that crackhead that is like, I'm going to jump off the bridge, and then does it, and then goes and teaches everybody, hey, this is the low I was at. This is where, like, you were in, like, you changed your entire life to something, and that's huge. Why? Because you don't want anybody to feel that way. You don't want anybody to stand in front of the judge and just go, Jesus, this is so embarrassing. Yeah. You don't want to be that person that's up there the second or third time going, and you know the fucking judge by name, right? Like, that's just not a thing. Like, I think what you have to understand is you have to understand that we're doing this because we generally care about others in this world.
Well, I mean, we talk about this, coming from the coaching background. I don't root for anybody that I coach against. I hate them. They're automatically the enemy.
Sure.
But when it comes to financials, if you share a success with me, unlike in the coaching world where I'm not happy for you and I want you to suffer and die, financially, I'm celebrating that right along with you. I'm so excited. Vanessa sends me a text, hey, Amazon bill, it's paid off.
Yeah.
I have a $0 balance. I got so excited. I sent it to Nick. Nick's like, hell yeah, she paid that off. That's gone.
Yeah.
Now she's attacking the next card, and we're sitting there and we're so excited.
Yeah.
We literally did nothing other than talk to Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's not our victory.
She did say she wasn't going live, and I was like,
I would have.
I mean, cool. Like, I don't care. That's fine. You're not that person, but like, I'm going live for you. Like, this is huge. But and I think when you look at things, there's so many people out there. Okay, so Dave Ramsey, right? Like, we don't agree upon his stuff, but like we know for a fact his shit works.
It works,
right? You look at the Money Guys, right? Like, they've been around for 15 years, something like that. They have their plan. It works, right? Like, most people talk about the same stuff. And why? Because it works. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel.
No.
Yeah, we're just talking to you from real life situations, and we're trying to get you to understand this is really what we want for you guys.
Well, again, why does Vanessa like listening to us? She likes listening to us because we're two regular guys that like to talk about money, and we're doing it while we're drinking beer because it's literally like we're just talking to you from across the bar.
Yeah.
And we're just having a good time, and it's just kind of matter of fact. I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you're going to. I'm just going to share my knowledge with you. And at the end of the day, I hope you succeed.
Yeah, that's
unlike when I'm coaching against you and I want you to fail and die, here I want you to succeed. I want you to sit there and say, hey, I paid off these 3 credit cards and I get to take a trip to, Mexico.
Yeah.
And I can sit there and go, that's freaking awesome. Send me some pictures.
Oh, 100%. Like, because we want you to do it the debt-free way. We don't want you to go into debt for it. Like, we want you to not have to come stressed back when you get here and go, but like when you talk about coaching, it's like when you're playing, when you're in that moment, yes, you want them to lose. You don't want them. But when the game's over, you get up there and you shake hands. Yep. And guess what? You know what? How many times did you see it where I would give another coach a hug or a handshake and say, hey, have a safe drive home? Because why? I want you to get to that final destination in a safe way. Yep. I want you to get to that final destination the same as I want to get to my home, right? The same as I want to get to that. Like, you know what? I want everybody along this entire thing, like during competition, that's what it is. But like in the end, right? My grandma, her final words were always, okay, have fun. I love you. Be safe.
Yep.
And it was, all right, bye. Love you too. Never. Right. So, but the end result is we want you to get to that final spot. Like,
well, I talked about it when, flashing back to the beginning of the episode when Katie and Jenny were here.
Yeah.
I talked to them and, Katie said it better than probably anybody. It wasn't about playing softball at the school she went to. It wasn't about, becoming a college athlete. It wasn't about winning, conference or districts or any of those things. What it was about was sports there was a way to have a family that cared about you.
Yep.
And in other sports, they didn't necessarily care, but they knew when they came to me, my goal was for them to get a good grade and for them to become a better person and for them to put the right image forward. It wasn't necessarily to win the game. I wanted to win. I'm as competitive as anyone.
Sure.
If Nick and I talked before that we want to play Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Nick and I will be punching each other playing Tecmo Super Bowl because I want to kick his ass. Yeah. But when I'm looking at this, it's not necessarily about those wins on the field. It's about creating a better person that knows at the end of the day, I actually care about them and where they're going.
Well, and that was a big thing, especially during my coaching, right? Like you cared a little bit more about grades than I did.
Yep.
And, all we needed in my school was a D, right? Yep. A D minus technically. So you needed 61% in order to, and I would tell my kids, look, honestly, like in school, I had a higher GPA because I took easy classes, but the fact is I don't care what you do. Mm-hmm. I don't care how you have to do it. Your bare minimum is 61%. If you want to get that 61%, put your effort in to get that 61%. Why? Because guess what? You're going to be over here. You need to be with your team. And if you can't give your team that much effort, then you need to find yourself and you need to understand who you are.
Yep.
Because look, I'm not asking for anything more than bare minimum, right? And like literally bare minimum. So just like in wealth building, I'm not asking for anything more than bare minimum. Like, okay, so me, sure, bare minimum is 15 to 25%, but like, I'm not asking you to start there, right? I'm asking you to start bare minimum when you're younger, sure, but like start now, like 401k match of 3 to 5%. Like that's bare minimum, right? You and I can both agree. If you have a normal W-2 job, you're not a person that works for yourself, whatever. And if you are working for yourself and every stupid client you work for, whatever, 5%, like, or whatever it is, like just take some type of money and start investing it. All we're asking you to do is open an account for Betterment, right? Use our referral so that way we can get some free months.
Absolutely.
That's huge. And but just start, because guess what? And that's the thing, we're helping you because yes, you're helping us by giving us the referral, but we're helping you because you're going to get 3 or 6 months referral for free of no interest on this account, right? Like start by opening something, right? Put if you have to do a one-time deposit of $10 until you can do one-time deposits, right? And then until it starts your weekly takeout, but get in there, set it up, automatic withdrawal. and mine comes out of my debit card. It might be my account actually. I mean, yeah, it's a bank account exactly. So yeah, you have to call your bank and figure out what your things are. If you're older and you have a checkbook, which I still have checks, because I write them every month. Just start somewhere. We're asking you to start. We're not at this point. Really, that's all it takes is steps. And Dave Ramsey, baby steps.
You may not be offered something. Like Caitlin's not offered anything, even though she's a W-2 employee.
Right, but you are offered.
She has her Betterment account, and she puts 18% every month into her Roth IRA.
Right, she has Roth IRA.
Correct.
Through Betterment, right? Like, so you have, Roth IRA for Betterment. You have index funds for Betterment. Which, okay, so we differ on some things because, well, granted, I had a 401k, so I didn't do Roth IRAs too much.
Right.
I did Roth 401s, and not all of my money had to go to, because I've always looked at worst case scenario. So I want to get to the point where worst case scenario loans kind of start to collapse upon each other. I'd rather lose everything I have here, pay off all this, and then be fine. So like, I need that liquid, and my intent is to never touch it, but just in case. And so if you're feeling like, hey, I'm gonna get to this point where I need it, sure, then start, like, again, an index fund or start stock, whatever. I don't care what it is. Figure out what you have any idea. We've talked about so many things. Start something, put money away to it, and you're gonna get it out. Say that's completely fine. So we just had somebody say they're gonna invent a product that everyone buys. Well, not just one. So I hope you do that. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, put it to it. I mean, depending on the price, I'll buy two.
Yeah, tell us what it is, because we want to know. At the end of the day, we're all trying to, make life a little bit easier, a little bit better.
Yep.
And make our wealth a little bit higher, so that, again, as we've said many, many times, we can do what we want to do when we want to do it.
And again, we want to do this. Do we have to do this? No. Do we want to? Yes. What do we want to do while we do it? Drink beer.
Yeah.
Do we do that? Yes. Hell yes. Right? Like this.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, you like Bud Light.
I do.
I
very much.
I'm not a huge fan of Miller Lite.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd like to get to the point where I can just buy, Saugatuck or Atwater or Rourke or whoever, whatever small brewer I want to support that day.
Yeah.
I want to be able to buy that and not think twice about, spending $12 on a 6-pack.
Well, see, and I'm going above you because I'm Billy Badass, and I want to be able to get a keg tap, right? Like,
yeah.
Right, and I want us to get like one of those little quarter kegs or something like that, and that's what we want. So we're just gonna pour it, and we'll drink that, and we'll get the next one. Like, this is gonna be perfect for us.
Well, and for anybody joining us, we're doing this live again on Saturday.
We are.
We're talking baseball, all baseball. I got so many fun trivia facts, some ways to save money at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of fun stuff. Hopefully we can all get to the ballpark this year.
I'm going to a ballpark this year.
I hope I am.
Do I know how? No, but
20% at Wrigley Field.
20% at West Michigan Whitecaps.
Hopefully we'll get to some ball games this year, because I love baseball.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest topics for us.
This guy is guy or girl, I don't know which it is.
This person, yeah.
Yeah, this person. I want enough money to not worry about money again. 3 houses in the country and travel anywhere and anytime I want. And literally that's I want to do what I want when I want.
I think you hit it on the head. That's so your why right there is so that way right at the end, right? And travel anywhere, anytime. Like, that's your why. Because you don't want to have to punch a clock.
Nope.
Because you don't have to get up when you want to. Or, because you want to get up when you want to. Because, like, your why needs to be the biggest strong thing of your life, right? Like, you need to understand that you can reach it. You just have to make sure you set it and do it. Right? Like, I hope that you reach out to us on Bucks and Brews Facebook. Message us.
Facebook, Twitter, bucksandbrews.com. Find us.
Find it. And, like, reach out to us and we're going to talk to you directly and say, hey, what are you actually doing to reach your goals? We're going to, because, just like we did with a few of our other people, hey, what are your goals? What are your goals? How are you getting there? Right. Like, because there's so many people that we talk to that are like, oh, I got this and I got this. And it's like, cool. Hey, have you thought about this? And have you thought about this and this? And like, we throw ideas because we give it free. It's free 99 knowledge, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we give. Yeah, and I completely get it. So I think one of the biggest things for me with real estate was once I replaced one paycheck, I was like, yeah, that wasn't bad. Can I replace 4 paychecks?
Yep.
Right? Or 5 paychecks technically. And like once I knew I could replace 5 paychecks, which was guaranteed 5 paychecks every month instead of the 4 and then the random 5th, like that was a huge thing for me, right? Like my attitude changed. Yeah, okay, I didn't have the nuts, let's say, right? The cojones to go, hey, I'm taking vacation when I want, because I still wanted other things. Like my maturity kind of came out and I was like, hey, I have to do this. But, truthfully, once that firing happened, or illegal firing happened, I was fine. Like, like, dude, if this would have happened back in the day, like I would have just freaked out and went and got another job, like grunted up, doing whatever. But then I had the opportunity to call my own shots. I had the opportunity to figure out who I wanted to be. I had the opportunity to figure out where I wanted to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm shooting for. Okay. So now, my wife gets mad because she's like, hey, you said you have whatever free time. And I'm like, look, if you plan a vacation, I promise you, I have to do the planning. Well, yes, if I plan it too, I'm going to go on it. But like, if you have something you need me to do, I'll be there, right? Like, I was out in Muskegon last Monday because my daughter started back up gymnastics, which was huge. And I was like, hey, I got to stay because I got to do this. And she goes, oh, it's your daughter, all right, there'll be more gymnastics. And I was like, never mind. Called the owner, was like, hey, no, nothing against you. Like, this is what I have to do. I'll come back out, but like this amount of time because this is more important to me. And he's like, completely understand, right? And so then, so I had to give, like, I stopped for 45 minutes and had to go right back out type thing. Like, I have no problem with that because that is my number one important in life.
Well, we talk about it, me throwing talk toss to the girls the other day. You take it for granted while you have to, in quotes, do it.
Yeah.
But when you don't have to do it anymore, you're sitting there going, man, I really miss those times. I wish I could go do that again. And I know you're a bowler and you still bowl competitively.
Yeah.
But don't you sit there and go, man, it'd be fun to be a part of, high school team and do all these things I used to do.
Yeah.
Because, you never get that competitive spirit back anymore. The girls told me, they're like, yeah, people tell me I should go play slow pitch, but I don't want to do that. That's stupid.
Yeah. It's not, you don't have the competitiveness, right?
You just don't.
Granted, you'll have that one other team that's competitive, and finally you guys get, but half your team's probably not riled up and ready to go for it, right?
Right.
You don't get that full, like, everybody all day, right? There's a couple of competitive leagues and there's a couple, but like, you have to get into it. And so, I built myself, even with my competitive bowling team, like, we still drank. I'm not gonna, like, right? Right back when I used to bowl real, like, no, like, you didn't talk to me. My cell phone wasn't really on me.
Yeah.
Like, it would for a distraction if I threw a bad shot, but like, I was there for competition.
Yep.
I wasn't there to make friends, right? I was always very friendly and respectful, but I was not there to lose, right? And that was huge for me.
Well, and that's a lot of what it is. Again, setting goals and hitting those goals.
Yep.
And, we've gone almost 2 hours as usual because we like to talk money.
That's who we are. Take care.
Any of you that have listened, we really appreciate you hopping on here. This will be posted, to Podbean.
Podbean's a new thing for us, so we're not sure what these hearts are over in the corner. But we're getting quite a few of them.
We are, and that's always fun. I will upload this show probably on the weekend as usual. it'll be on YouTube at some point because you want to look at our beautiful faces because we're so handsome.
Sure.
And then again, Saturday we're going to talk baseball. If you're a baseball fan, please join us. We're
coming up to bat, the big one, the sexy Nick Watkins.
We are very excited about our baseball episode because we are all baseball fans, and
we are.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I want to thank Warwick Brewing and Saugatuck Brewing for allowing me to buy their very tasty beer.
Yeah, so Smirnoff, which is their own brewed by Smirnoff in Plainfield, Illinois. Smirnoff Red, White, and Blue, which I usually drink quite a few of those.
My cousin lives in Plainfield, Illinois.
And then, of course, always true to my Big Blue, Bud Light.
Owned by a Swedish company now.
I don't care who it's owned by, as long as it keeps coming. So the price stays the same, my friend. So
hit us with your normal, Nick.
You guys like, subscribe, share, keep the love coming. We share out a few topics on Facebook. We appreciate the feedback. Look forward to anything that you guys want to talk about. So if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, we're going to hit it right away.
Yeah, please hit us up. We want to know what you want to hear about. And
if you want a Bucks and Brews t-shirt, reach out to us. I'll move the beard out of the way so I can see my face. Find us on bucksandbrews.com. We need more traffic there.
We do. I need to update a little more than.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of time lately, which is why it doesn't get updated.
Yeah, so we just stay on Facebook quite a bit. So really, if you want
and Twitter.
Yeah, if you want a Twitter, and I'm usually more on the Facebook side. If you want responses, honestly, that's what.
Hit us up on those.
Yep.
If you want some of our swag, hit us up for those.
Yeah, you can't have a glass because there's only been 2 ever created.
Yeah.
And that's probably all that'll ever be created.
We're gonna work on that. I really like the glasses.
Me too.
And I want more.
We're just gonna sell them for a lot of money.
I guess so.
We're gonna make them that thing that people want. So again, like, subscribe, share, tell your mom, tell your grandma, your auntie, your mama, your mammy.
We will talk to all of you again on Saturday when we're talking baseball.
Jump on and join us.
Please do.
It's gonna be a great episode. I'm gonna get my pennant hung. Because I'm gonna have to go get my Tigers hat out. This is gonna be a great day.
I gotta find my Cubs pride hat. I don't know where the hell it is.
I gotta find my Tigers pride hat. This is gonna be great. Guys, take care. Thanks so much for joining us.